Thank you for listening to Lone Star Community Radio. This program was broadcasted and recorded live from the LSCR studios in downtown Conroe, Texas. Lone Star Community Radio is supported by listeners like you. Donate and sponsor today. For more information on getting involved with Lone Star Community Radio, contact us at lscrstudios@gmail.com or visit us online at www.irlonestar.com.
Lone Star Radio on my mind.
Welcome to the Texas Ticket Show. This is Armando, and I'd like to wish everybody a happy Halloween, and thank you for joining us here on the Texas Ticket Show. We got quite a show lined up, I think. I have Tim and Lisa here from Tulips and Tulips in the studio here with us today. They're going to tell us a little bit about what's going on there, and then we're going to finish the show with the Punch Your Texas Ticket segment of the show. We'll review a little of the holiday happenings and some stuff going around. Maybe what's going on, how your Halloween went, and how it's going. So let's get this show started. Let's bring Tim and Lisa into the studio and get going. Welcome, Tim. Welcome, Lisa.
Hello.
Thank you.
I'm glad you guys are here.
We're very happy to be here.
Man, it's awesome. Big Halloween fans? Big Halloween fans?
I love Halloween.
Oh, that's your favorite holiday?
It is my favorite.
Really?
It
Well,
is.
wow. Yeah. Why so?
I don't know. I just
'Cause
loved
she's
it.
ghoulish.
We actually
Ghoulish.
no, we weren't allowed to celebrate as children, so I think that's why it's heightened.
Ooh.
Devil's holiday.
I just like to beat up little kids and take all their candy.
Sure.
A little kid for bags. Well, you know, candy. You know, I think the candy industry's changed quite a bit. You know, I think back in the day they used to lobby for more time and when they would have Halloween, when it lasted, when it became. They lobbied for daylight savings time to get more time to give out candy.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I know that from what I heard, they made one batch of candy corn at the very beginning, and they just keep reselling it. That stuff is nasty.
It's the same candy corn?
It's the same candy corn from the 50s.
Probably better for you. It's probably better for you. They made good candy corn in the 50s.
Just candy, what, it's candle wax and flavoring?
I don't know.
I just want to make sure we can hear you. You know, and Tim, you're a long time a local to this area, to Montgomery County, and I think you were in your 20s when I met you.
No, before my 20s.
Really?
I was like 8 because I had just started being a waiter right in that kind of time zone area. So no, it was like 18, 19 when you met me for the first time.
Crazy.
It's been 27 years.
And I went
or
out
longer.
It has been, and you know, and it was totally random that we came back.
Yeah, because you called me and I recognized your laugh. You have the most recognizable laugh in the world, and I was like, "Are you Armando Nina?" And you're like, "Are you Tim Giraud?"
It's crazy.
Yeah.
That's weird, right? That's
It was because I didn't know that you were from.
You
Montgomery.
said, "Do you know a Tim? What Tim do you know? What's his last name?" And I said, "Giraud."
Giraud.
He said,
The only one that
"Yeah."
you should know.
It was like unbelievable. So I was totally shocked to find Kindred Spirit, old friend, and right in the heart of Montgomery, Texas.
Yeah.
And downtown Montgomery, which is such a small group of businesses, which, you know, I feel has a long way to go in where it's going in its future and growing as a community. And we saw some of that on the 25th with the Halloween event that they held. I know it rained on the parade, but I don't think it was actually a literal parade, but you know what I mean. But I think everybody had fun. Everybody had a great time in Montgomery, and it was one of the few events on that day. I know we've got still coming up on the things that are happening now and what's going on for Halloween, but I really like the way they're stepping up for the holidays and doing some cool stuff down there in Montgomery.
Well, you know, as a community, they're pretty tight knit. You know, they do try to support you as absolutely best as possible, but breaking into the community is the hard part. That's kind of what we're doing right now. But we've been, you know, the community itself has really welcomed us very, very well. I love it to death.
I love the house, the building, a house building. What do you call it?
Well, I'll tell you, it's a cottage is what I call
Cottage,
it. The
I
really
love
cool
it.
thing is we've actually found out the history of the house. So the actual house that we're in was actually built in Conroe in the early 1900s. And then there our neighbor where we live right now actually purchased that house and moved it off of 1097.
What?
She grew her
She grew
grandparents
up in the house.
purchased the house, and she grew up in the house that we're doing business in now. And then from 1097, the old original owners of the Heritage House purchased that cottage from her grandparents and moved it to the property that it's on now, and it's been there since the mid 1900s.
Really?
So we actually got to learn the history of the cottage and who grew up there. And the funny thing is they're our neighbors, and we'd have never known that.
Well, the meeting place is in front of you now.
Correct. Yeah, the meeting place.
And you're located on Eva Street, right?
Correct. Yeah,
Correct.
22016 Eva Street.
Yeah, and the same address is the meeting place.
Correct.
And so I've got that great pickleball court back there. But when I was going to Montgomery High School, we played football there, and the tradition of the school was the entire team would go pregame to the day before their games to the Heritage House.
Oh, really?
The whole team.
Wow.
Every time. So we would fill the place. It would be all players, and it was the highlight reel. I can't wait for game day. Why?
Right.
You ready to play? And I'm like,
I'm ready to eat.
Heritage House. Yeah, it was always in there, and it was something we were all real grateful for because we're just kids, and it was super
Armando
cool.
played football whenever they didn't have the face mask.
Yeah. Well, I had a leather helmet with my name on it. They kept every time you didn't hit another fella at Montgomery High School hard enough, they'd tell you, we're gonna put you out on 105 and let them drive by my truck and throw tires at you to make you tough. And I'm like, how fast will you be driving? I said, depends. Show me what I need to be doing. And I'm like, yes, sir. And when you get down there and just get in the cages and stuff and just start hitting each other. And okay, you're good. You're not. Get over there. Good. They just start sorting folks out. They're doing a lot of that PT style military training there at the school now.
Yeah.
Do you know anything about that?
I just see it because we drive by it
Yeah.
every day.
What's going on
multiple
there?
times. That's mainly for the ROTC program.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, I saw the ROTC program.
That's
building
right out in front of your place.
Yeah.
I mean, literally, you
It's-
walk out your
it's-
front door to the right.
200 yards away from us. Just great.
I saw him out there getting after it. I was like, man, that's the same place they used to hurt me. I think I broke a pinky out on that
I
field.
love when I drive by there like 5:30, 6 o'clock in the morning. The football team, it just brings back memories. The football team's out there on the practice field, and I'm like, God, I'm glad I don't have to do that anymore.
And your daughter's playing volleyball for the Montgomery Junior High
Yes.
School. And also, you did you see the MoCo Throwdown?
The which what?
Lions versus Bears?
Nuh-uh.
That was a great game. It was fab. Well, Montgomery kind of ran away with it after the
Well,
second.
Montgomery is like ranked real high this year in 5A.
Really?
They're like number 5 or number 6. They're like, I was like, wow.
Well, I was telling Brett Ligon is the old district attorney, is the current district attorney, but the old quarterback from Montgomery High School.
Ah.
Yeah. And he was the quarterback when they went district champions. And I think it's the only one still to date. I don't know that we've won district since, but I think it was one other season about 4 or 5 years back that they got really close or did. They competed. I don't know if they won it.
I went to McCullough, and we won district every year.
Wow.
God,
Wow.
good night.
Well, and
Nobody
you're a local now,
cares.
a brother, a neighbor, and Lisa, you're doing flowers, and I know you're nationwide. You're the Gulf Coast buys your flowers all over the place for weddings, events, and you're highly sought after for these things. Tell me a little bit about the floral business and what you do there.
Yeah, so we do pretty much just wedding and event flowers. I probably started, I think my very first wedding was in 2018 for a friend. Before that, I was actually a dental assistant, and it got published, and I was like, well, what am I doing with my life? So a couple years later, I finally did it full time.
Okay.
And then I've been on my own for like 2.5 years.
That's fabulous.
Yeah, it's been great.
And y'all were talking about some of the decor and some of the things that you use that are really innovative on taking steps on decoration, just fauna to make the right settings for the right engagements, whether it's a wedding, a business get together, or a dinner.
Well, and also just trying to keep it, reasonable. Like everything else, flowers are just absolutely insanely expensive. And so I think people don't realize, when they call to get like a wedding quote, they're very shocked every time. So I actually have started doing silk rentals. So I rent silk flowers and arrangements, but I still make them custom, and I use fresh greenery so they don't look cheesy and cheap. So, and that's really taken off.
Good.
So I can still do fresh flowers for like bouquets so they can keep them, preserve them, but then I can try to keep everything else, reasonably priced.
Yeah.
And,
it
she's
works.
also being very modest because she buys like the highest grade, highest level silk flowers.
I do not like cheesy.
And
Yeah, sure.
her flowers, like if you walk into our wine bar there in Montgomery, you can't even tell that the flowers that are on the wall, that are hanging from the ceiling, that are on the, everything with an exception of the little bitty tabletop flowers are silks, but they look real. Like every single day when people walk in, you see them touching it because
They wanna know.
They're like,
Yeah.
is it real or is it
There
fake?
was a lady
And, it's
trying to
just-
smell it, and I was like, "Oh no, don't!"
I'm gonna
they're
pretend
not
the
real.
whole time.
Yeah,
Yes.
they're not
How does that
real.
smell? Smell
They're
good?
not real.
No, but it's-
Lots of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's how good she is. She doesn't like to toot her own horn, but she is awesome in
He's just trying to
in
suck up.
every
It's okay.
single way of being a florist. Like
That's great.
I see florists on a daily basis that are all really good. She blows them all away. And
I love the touch. I think it's a beautiful aspect to the room, and it's the same for any room, But since it's all in yours right now, we can talk about it there, and we can see it in one place. And we had such a great time visiting on Wednesday. That was a pleasure. Thank you for your
no, we
hospitality.
had a blast having
I know
you there.
McKnight Title was there, Southern Starberry, several others and Tom Cronin from Cozy Grape was there. We had a wonderful
Tom's
time.
great, dude.
They're good
We
people.
actually met him for the first time a week and a half ago.
Yeah, we went for dinner.
We were at dinner at the Cozy Grape, and we met the daughter of the owner of Dosey Do's. We met.
Oh, yeah,
she was
Yes.
there.
Miss Said, yeah.
Yeah, and and then Tom came over. We had like 5 or 6 business owners in the community while we were eating dinner.
Yeah,
I'm
because we
like,
had our shirts on.
yeah,
so they
yeah.
all-
So
We're
we had our.
outfits.
tulips
I
and
typically
tulips.
wear a shirt when I go there as well, and they like to talk to
Yes,
me
I would
because
yeah.
I have
prefer
a shirt.
when you wear a shirt, yes, but no, it was funny because we actually wore a shirt from the wine bar.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and people were like, "Oh, is that y'all?" I'm like, "Yeah." So like, it's like we were eating dinner and doing interviews all at the same time.
Yeah.
That's
so
great.
it was mainly what we do every day.
When I passed by the place, and I'm like, I love that little house back there. I want to know what's going on. And I walk by, and my friend Elise from Messina Hoff was driving out of there, and
She's a sweetheart.
I said, Elise, what are you doing back in the woods over there? She said, I'm delivering wine. They gave you a van? When did you get the van? Armando, you have the oddest questions. Where did this van come from, Elise? Do you drive it all the time? No, not really. You got me. Not really.
She works for Paul and Merrill, and I've known Paul and Merrill for over 2 decades. I love them to death. Paul is the most eccentric person and the most lovable person you'll ever meet
He
in
has
your
the
life.
best shirts.
He does, well, unless they're the mesh net shirts.
He has
and then-
great outfits.
He's got great juice.
Oh,
I'll tell you, there is a few wines over there that just she's introduced me to, and she's tried me on everything, and then she tries me again, and then tries me again, and I'm like, man,
Well,
okay,
the funny
I love all
thing
that.
is when we were there about a month and a half, 2 months ago, we actually created a brand new drink, not only for their wine bar, but for our wine bar. And it's the only 2 places that you can actually get this specific drink.
Really? What do you got? What do you
It's
got?
called
Tell me
the
about it.
Texas Kiss.
Ooh, what is it?
And it's the Papa Paulo Port
Okay.
and their almond sparkling.
Ooh, that almond sparkling
Oh
is good.
my God,
I
yeah.
like that.
But whenever
It's
you
pink,
come-
right?
No, it's
The almond
it's
sparkle is
no,
not
it
pink?
looks, it looks like
It's-
champagne. Yeah,
yeah.
it looks like champagne.
Yeah.
But the cool thing is when you combine those 2, it's like biting into a really jammy pie. Oh my God, it's incredible.
I like that.
Yeah,
thought.
no, it's a very unique, and that's why I was like, you know what? It's 2 Texas wines, Texas Kiss.
So and you brought those wines, you got them in house, and it's totally covered in flowers. It's a beautiful place inside there.
Well, what
so
we wanted
nice.
to do is, we wanted to, when people come to our place of business, Tulips to Tulips, it's like we want them to feel like when they walk in the door, they're walking in the door of their own house. Welcome home. That's kind of what we do. We offer them. It's kind of like whenever they walk in, we're like, you like orange or lemon? And I love seeing their face. They're like, what are you talking about?
What?
Like, you can't ask questions. Is it orange or lemon? And they're like, nah. So we get them a 1 ounce pour of either orange, a limoncello or orancello, which is the blood orange cello.
Really? I haven't had that.
Well, you know what cello is?
I've had the limoncello.
Limoncello, yeah. So it's Italian Everclear with a lot of sugar, and then they either shred the rinds of the lemons or they shred the rinds of the blood orange.
Oh.
And then they soak it in the Everclear and sugar concoction.
Fantastic.
And most distilleries 15 days and we bottle it. Well, our distillery does it the right way. They actually, at 12 days, they taste it. And then if it's not right, every 2 or 3 days they taste it again, because if it's aged too long, it gets too bitter. If it's not aged long enough, it doesn't have enough
Why
flavor.
didn't I drink this when I was there? Why did I go back for this? We're going to make a point of that. Put it on
Because
my
you're gonna fall in love with it all over again. But you have to sip
to-do
it.
list. Limoncello.
Yes, you have to sip it, because at the end of the day, it's still Everclear. We want you to walk out, not crawl or roll out.
What a beautiful place. You know, that setting, the temperatures are so great. You sit outside. Do they congregate out there a lot?
Well, yeah, well-
I mean, I know it's so nice inside. I was like,
Well,
I didn't
we
really
finally
want-
have outdoor tables now. And we didn't put outdoor tables at first because it was, I think, 1,800 degrees outside whenever
Yeah.
we opened up in July.
That's true.
Yeah,
That's
you
true.
know. So we waited until the fall, which was this last week, and now we have tables outside where people can enjoy inside and outside. We actually had an Amalfi Coast chef-inspired dinner last week, and we were able to open up the windows and get the breeze in there just like you would do at the Amalfi Coast. So it was kind of an indoor-outdoor type dinner, but it was absolutely amazing. You know, Chef Stephanie blew it and you just knocked it out of the park, and wow.
What a great place to introduce to the community. And I think that the more offerings Montgomery has, the more people come to Montgomery to come patronize. I think it's the next Old Town Spring. I mean, I think it's got that potential, and really has a nice nostalgia to it. And the shops that I see now they're good enough. You know, I mean, I went to that Texas Mini Plaza place. You've been in that little art gallery they got in there?
Yes.
That is surprisingly awesome. You know, I went in there. I was like, well, there's just so much more than I thought was in here.
Well, the really cool thing about Montgomery, especially with the addition of down a little bit farther on down 105 where we're at, is you have the downtown. But then you have the extended downtown where you go and there's Bar A on the left with the new coffee shop, and then that's right before you get to City Hall, and then once you pass City Hall, you got the Cowboy Church, and then you've got us. So there's the town of Montgomery. If you really explore it,
much
has a
wonderful corners.
lot of stuff to offer.
It does.
You've got to get out of the downtown area because the downtown has a small limited supply. But if you really focus on about a 1, maybe 2 mile radius outside of kind of what I call the four corners.
Everybody calls it that.
Yeah, you down the other side of 105, you've got the place where they do honey. I think it's called the Honey Box.
The Honey Box.
Yeah, the Honey Box.
Honey Box.
And if you've never been there, oh my God.
I've never been to the Honey Box.
You need to go there because I was like, they give you free honey ice cream, which is delicious. But
Free ice
you
cream.
actually can get honey that has the combs. I'm buying honey from them that we utilize at our wine bar because it has the comb in it.
Nice. That is nice.
Yes.
And so much more really made stuff. You know, I can go to the KOA Farmers Market every Saturday or Sunday, and I get so much real locally made stuff. And I know everybody's kind of leaning that way on eating foods that might be
Cleaner.
cleaner, better for, potentially better for us. It didn't have to be. But as long as it's potentially better
Yeah.
for you. You know, have you tried that? Right? I mean, maybe look like I'm trying. You know,
can
I don't
roll
want
it
to just
away.
not give it. Let me just give my family 2 meals a day from McDonald's for 7 days a week for the rest of our lives. That's not trying. You know, I mean, you're gonna actually have to use the
Yeah.
kitchen a couple times.
My mom thought
Maybe
that
go
was
to the
trying.
grocery store.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well-
That's when I
we
ate
were
while
actually
growing
talking
up.
about that the other day. It's like, because we are so busy with all of our businesses that it's like, I was like, man, we got to start eating at home more.
I know. I can't remember the last time I
I
had a
hate-
vegetable, but we're trying.
You know,
I
on that
hate
note
eating
about the I did and my mom did. Well, have you seen the differences in the French fries from the past ingredients to the ones today? They're night and day. The French fries of the past were this long in the ingredients list. The ones today are this long.
Yeah.
Right.
Same French fries. What happened? So it's not the same food.
Oh God, no, it's not.
It's not entirely the same. So there, and it's literally not. I mean, it's comparably not. So when we see this kind of thing happening, I mean, I can't say that's bad. Maybe they're putting vitamins in it.
No.
No.
No?
I don't
Well,
think
it's
so.
like the best.
Where's their protein fries?
The best chicken sandwich out there is chock full of 47 chemicals that are made to get you addicted. But I love it.
I don't know why, but I love it.
It's crazy. Delicious.
These nuggets are amazing. Have you heard of the after effects? I don't see any after effects.
What after effects?
Yeah.
Why do you have the Ray Charles itch?
I don't know. But, I think there's a lot of truth to that. And working a hard kitchen, a scratch kitchen, and putting real food on the table is tough to do because you're starting out with processed ingredients and calling it a scratch result. So there's just these layers to it. So you get these opportunities to go to a farmer's market, get foods that are that way from the farmers who live in Montgomery, Texas. So you get that opportunity, and I think Cozy Grape is traditionally a wine bar, but it's a great restaurant. I don't go there for wine; I go there for food.
Oh yeah,
and really, and if I didn't want to eat, I'd feel awkward, And not to take away from that offering, they have a lot of good wines and a lot of great stuff. And if there was something on that list that stole my heart, so and that would be about the juice. I don't care where I was standing. Really, if I got the right juice at the right price and I knew it was there all the time and consistent, I would go because, man, I'm craving some Erath Pinot Noir that I know I can afford. I want to go there for that.
They have the best mashed potatoes you'll ever eat in your life. Oh my God.
Yeah.
I had the short ribs. The short ribs last time I went there.
Good call.
And
Good call.
The mashed potatoes stole the show. I even told Tom whenever he came by the table, I'm like, I don't know what you're doing, but these mashed potatoes, that's the best damn mashed potatoes I've ever eaten in my life.
I was, what do we have? We were going for the Faith in Blue in Montgomery event, and that's just churches and municipalities or police. And
I remember. Yeah,
we were there for that. Well, we had to stall because the kids got out of the volleyball practice at 4.
Mm-hmm.
So over at the junior high, and then afterwards we were able to head over to Cozy Grape. We're going to sit there till 6 when they start. So we didn't get there till like 4:30, 4:45, an hour and a half to kill. So we're killing the appetizers. We did. Oh, yeah. I'm like, man, Sophia, she's like, what? I'd like to applaud your exploration of new foods. It's just like, what are you talking about? Well, you just ate that, and you look like you really enjoyed it. What is that? Escargot!
It's funny because the first time I ever fed my kids, I have two boy and girl twins, I told them it was Italian meat chunks.
Oh, really?
And they absolutely fell in love with it. But then my ex-wife is, whenever we
She told them.
Yeah, she straight called them out. She goes, "Why are y'all eating escargot?" And they're like, "Because we love it." And they're like, she's like, "You know what you're eating?" And I'm looking at her like, "Don't tell them."
Do it.
She goes, "Those are snells." I haven't been able to get my kids to eat that since then. But they ate them up like crazy whenever they were Italian meat chunks.
Yeah, it's all about perspective, and I think the perspective goes a long way, and I think people get an attached perspective of a lot of things, and they get opinionated about it. Although even the fries have changed, we can all admit that. We know that's happened, right? So, but even the escargot changes, everything changes. It's like food is culinary is a fluid situation. I mean, we can come up with new ideas, we can retro, we can go forward and try new things, or we can do something that we're just traditionally used to. There's just so much, and culturally, the food just takes you new places. And it brings that touch of that culture, kind of like I compare it to smelling an old cologne. You bring back memories with an old soup smell when you walk in the house.
Oh, yeah.
Is my mom here? What's going on? Grandma? Is that you? Yeah, and it can touch you. It can get really into that place where you consider home and where you consider and food has the way. It's all across boundaries. I think it's
Absolutely.
Just food and love, I think. And I think perspective is 100%. It's how you see it. It depends on what foods you eat. Like if I'm in a different country.
That's kind of like how we started doing charcuterie boards at Tulips to Tulips because Italy is my favorite place to travel, and our wines are Italian wines.
A lot of this.
A lot of this.
We just did this while we talked the whole time. What's he doing there with his hand?
It's delicioso. It's perfetto. But so we have Italian wines and custom charcuterie boards.
Yes.
And all of our meats and cheeses are boar's head. Best
awesome.
out there. Mm-hmm. But the thing is whenever we were brainstorming and putting this all together. It's like, that's how, before we even had a name, we were like, Lisa asked me, she's like, what are you going to do with all the wine that you have in your warehouse? And
I
I'm
said,
like,
get it out. It's in
like,
my way.
I have no clue. So she's like, why don't you start a wine bar? And I'm like, okay, but if I do that, you're going to have to step up and put a floral shop in there. And then from there, I was like, because one of my favorite, if people have never traveled to Italy, they just don't know this, but you can get better food in a gas station in Italy than you can at a 3, 4, and 5-star restaurant here in the United States. And I hate to say that, but when you go into, like the focaccia bread and the fresh sliced meats and cheeses at a gas station in Italy, it's immaculate. And that's kind of actually how I designed our food at the wine bar.
Yeah.
Was from the gas stations that I would eat at in Italy, because, oh my God, they were just amazing.
Quick, easy, light.
Quick, easy, fresh, non-processed. Everything's good for you. It's like, we have, 8 different meats, 8 different cheeses. We've got probably 10 or 12 different like spreads and relishes. We've got fig spread. One of my favorite things that we actually get from Woody's Smokehouse on the way to Dallas.
Oh, yeah, I know where it is.
It's
Yeah,
called-
it's Centerville, Texas.
Yeah, Centerville. Yeah, it's called frog spread, and it's what I tell people.
Is there frog in it?
Well, what I tell people is this is what happens when Frogger gets hit on the game, but it's fig.
Actual frog.
Yeah, it's fig, fig, raspberry, orange, and ginger,
And frog.
and
And
frog.
frog.
And it is
Okay.
delicious. It is delicious.
It's a frog.
But we also have like Borse, because we're trying to figure out pickles and stuff like that.
Yeah, sure.
They have a horseradish bread and butter pickle. That's probably the best damn pickle I've ever eaten. in my
Okay,
entire life.
I gotta try this guy.
It's amazing.
I'm into horseradish.
Yeah, so it's like every single wine that we have at the wine bar, I've hand selected. Like we have a wine for every single palate.
So tell me when you guys go, like, okay, well, there are 2 questions. One, let's start with the wine, right? So the first question on the wine. Tell me, how do you pick your varieties? What do you have? What other makers? Is it all Messina Hoff? Is there more? What's the spread look like?
What we do is we have approximately 11 or 12 wineries out of Italy.
Okay.
I've been working with Italian wines for well over 2 decades. That's how I built my business, my company. Everything was Italian wine. There's a gentleman by the name of Antonio Maceri. I love this man to death. He's incredible. He is considered the king of sweet wines in all of Italy. He's the guy that he was the master winemaker and creator of Riuniti back in the 60s. So he made that, but after 20 years of drinking Riuniti, he developed diabetes because it was chock full of sugars and chemicals and all other kinds of caca. But so what he wanted to do is he wanted to develop a sweet wine that him being a diabetic could also drink. So that's where the Antonio Maceri Lambrusco came from.
Really? That's sugar free?
Yeah, it's 100% all natural. So he has 2 wines. He has the Lambrusco, which is made from the Salamino and Grasparosa Lambrusco grapes, and then he has a red blend made from Bonarda and Barbera.
Okay.
And both of them are sweet. They're sweet up front with a semi-dry finish, but the Lambrusco has more of a soft red berry front, where the red blend has more of an intense. I like my favorite is the Lambrusco. Her favorite is the red blend. So it's a little bit more intense.
There's no bubbles, and it's just really good.
Yeah,
I like it.
and they both have light bubbles, as the Italians call frizzante, which is light bubbles. And it's like even the bubbles come from natural fermentation. So literally,
They're just naturally
yeah.
effervescent.
So the both of those wines, the wine is just the grapes and a natural yeast that he made over 50, 60 years ago that he still uses today, and that's all that's in there.
Huh.
So there's no processed sugars, there's no synthetic sulfites. It's absolutely delicious. And the funny thing is I met Antonio when I was in Ecuador. I was in Ecuador for 2 weeks, and unfortunately, it took him 10 days to convince me to drink his wine because on day one we hit it off. We would we were like best friends, and then he's like, I want you to sell my wine in the U.S. and I'm like, okay, but I was like, what do you got? And he goes, Lambrusco, and I'm like, no. I was like, I don't drink sweet wine. I'm like, I don't like it. And he goes, it's different. I'm like, that's what everybody says. And I'm like, no, it's not.
That's what everybody
and
says.
after 10 days of him on me, just every day, taste my wine, taste my wine, taste my wine. Like the seagulls on
Mine.
Nemo.
On Finding Nemo.
Yes.
Yeah. I said, you know what? Give me a taste. I fell in love with his wine.
Mm-hmm.
I wish I would have drank it on day one, but I was closed-minded, and he opened up my eyes, and my God, that's been one of my favorite wines.
Mm-hmm.
You can drink his wine with anything. His
It's definitely top seller.
Yeah,
And it's in the house. You have
It's
it
in the
in-house.
house,
Oh, yeah.
absolutely.
Do you also have that almond champagne from Messina Hoff
We
in
do.
house?
Yes.
So the way that we came by getting Messina Hoff is because we focus only on Italian wines. So I was like,
Okay.
So I wanted to say, you know what? I'm born and bred in Texas. Like if you ask me where I'm from, I'm not from the U.S. I'm from Texas. I was born and raised in the Woodlands. Kind of like you were born and raised in Montgomery. We were 20 minutes apart from each other. And then my beautiful wife, she was born in Spring, across the tracks. But the thing is that's where that's kind of where you find yourself.
Yeah.
Were you going to end that sentence?
I just had a
You
brain
totally
fart.
forgot. Okay, there you
No,
go.
yeah, we were thinking about, no, but I see where you're at. Yeah. No, so only Italians?
So only Italian wines. So
But
that's where I
there
was
you
at.
were.
That's
But
what,
is the Messina Hoff
No, so
wine
we
Italian?
want to do. We have a
I wa-
Texas series.
But because
Okay,
So we
okay,
wanna
okay.
bring in a Texas
being
winery,
from
yeah.
There we go,
Texas,
yeah.
born and
There
bred,
you go, he
I
found
wanted to kind of put on a pedestal or do an expose of Texas wines. So I was like, you know what? Paul and Meryl are really good friends of mine, and they're the owners of Messina Hoff. So I was like, I want to feature Messina Hoff
call.
twice a year. And then so every quarter we feature a Texas winery. So 2 quarters I feature Messina Hoff. And then the other 2 quarters I feature a different Texas winery. And we don't want to feature anything from right here in our community because you can easily drive to them.
Sure.
So we want to get other wineries from throughout the state of Texas where we bring to Montgomery so people can experience those Texas wines.
On that note, let's take a brief break.
Go for it.
Let's take a brief break. Folks, give us just a few minutes. Enjoy. We'll be right back with some more of the Texas Ticket.
Lone Star Radio on my mind.
Car enthusiasts of Conroe, FM 104.5 and 106.1 Lone Star Community Radio invites you to shift into gear every Monday from 1 to 2 with Cruising Car Club Talk with Robert and Randy for news on all things automotive in the greater Houston-Conroe area. Can't make a live show? We've got you covered. You can find all of our uncut content, including full episodes on Spotify, iTunes, Play Store, YouTube, Facebook, and irlonestar.com. Again, that's Mondays 1 to 2, Cruising Car Club Talk with Robert and Randy. See you there.
Doing 104.5.
Welcome back to the Texas Ticket. This is Armando, and I'm with Tim and Lisa from
Lone Star
Tulips and
Radio
Tulips.
on my mind.
Welcome back.
Hello.
Welcome back.
Welcome back.
Jello.
I was curious, when I think about wines and around this area and a wine bar and that sort of thing, and I think about, the Bluebonnet Wine Trail and exploring some of those things. We've had the pleasure of exploring with them throughout Texas. And,
Absolutely.
And when you brought up sugar-free wines, my lady friend at the time when I was doing the Hill Country Wine Tour was diabetic or hypoglycemic. We really went a full-blown,
Right.
But you didn't want to get her close, or it was going to be a bad trip. So we went to Dry Comal Creek Vineyard out there, and at the time, I assume it's still there, but they had a sugar-free wine, and there was a few other offerings like that in the area that had sugar-free wines. I thought that was really cool, and now so that's all done through the yeast process, you're saying?
Well, it all depends on the winemaker and what's going on, because that's one of the things why I actually chose Italian wines, because Italian wines do not like to put anything into their wines. They're very old school when it comes to winemaking. It's the grapes and all natural stuff. And there are a few Texas wineries that are really starting to adhere to that. Instead of going the California direction where they're putting a lot of synthetics and sulfites and chemicals and stuff to allow the wine to last longer instead of making it better, Texas is really kind of starting to really separate themselves and going old world style instead of new world style, which I absolutely love. And Paul and Merrill have really done a good job.
I get told a lot of that shelf life preservation and that sort of thing is done through really good filtration, because the more sediment, but then I see like a Newton unfiltered, and then you're like, well, what about all this stuff? Because the more sediment, the more chances that it can go bad. You got the actual
not really. No, the sediment doesn't have anything to do with wines going bad or not.
Okay.
It's really about the quality of the wine making, because a lot of our wines don't have any synthetic sulfites. They only have the natural sulfites. And whenever you only have natural sulfites, your shelf life is roughly about 2, maybe 2.5 years.
Okay.
Unless it's done in a very high quality standard, and then they'll last 4, 5, 6 years. And that's the type of wines that we have coming out of Italy. They're all small boutique wineries that are very, very, very high quality and made in the complete right way of old world tradition. It's just the grapes, yeast, and whatever God produces.
Well, you are located on Eva Street, right past Four Corners, on the right-hand side, just past Cedar Creek Park, and like you said, right past Lone Star Cowboy Church.
Yeah.
You're on the right-hand side, right behind the meeting place.
Right behind that big old bull.
There's a big old bull out in front.
Right there on
Yeah, and
105. You
that
can't
little
miss
car.
that.
Does that actually work? Does he drive? Can he drive it?
Well, yeah, no, they
Yes.
actually they fired up the Studebaker and moved the whole bull and trailer up because we're having to put our sign back there.
Yeah, so it
And,
worked.
Yeah, so
Yes.
no, it works.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
works.
it just doesn't move.
Wow, that's fantastic. and what number could I call you guys at if I wanted to call you? Or do you take calls there in and out? It's not something you do.
We
You want to
do.
email? Okay.
Do we know that number just like off the top of our head?
Not off the top of my
I
head,
know
but
it starts with a 936.
There you go.
And I might know the last part.
That's
of it.
probably the right number. And then
1066.
1066.
well, you
went
can
over
come get a
that
glass
last
of the elusive glass of wine over at Tulips and Tulips.
Yeah.
And then as far as weddings go and events and happenings, you would distribute. What's your range of distribution and how you get these flowers out? How far will you go?
So, I mean, when we say flower shop, it's not like a true flower shop. We're not like gift shop, that kind of thing. I do make bouquets. It kind of like varies.
Yeah.
Like what I bring in. It depends on my week or because it's just me as far as the flowers go. But then I like to do a lot of flower workshops. So I know for Thanksgiving, we have like a centerpiece workshop and then a wreath making workshop in December. The MoCo list is also doing a vendor market. Oh, we found our phone number. If you want our phone number, it's 936-449-1066. Look at you. You had.
Okay, so you've got a floral arrangement design class coming up.
Yeah, we do.
Okay.
And so
When's
you can
that?
find it on the website.
Okay, and
Good
what's the
question.
website?
It is tulipstotulips.com.
And that's
All
TWO.
spelled out. Mm-hmm.
Two lips, like you drink wine
drink your
with two
tulips.
lips. So
Two,
TWO,
T-O-L-I-P.
L-I-P-S.
Two
And then
tulips.
two tulips. Two, T-O, T-U-L-I-P. So that's kind
Yeah.
of how we did it. It's tulips for the wine and tulips for the flowers.
I just Google it. No matter how I screw it up, it goes straight to you.
Get them straight to me.
It does, and it works. It works well, and I stopped screwing it up. I've got it down now. I figured it out. But I just think it's so quaint, so cool, such a nice place, such a nostalgic spot, such a sweet place to be, and such a great offering. I love the whole thing. It's just nice.
It's all about
Yeah.
So
come,
pretty.
hey, come to our place and come home. That's really we want you to feel like you are at your own house.
Tim, it's good to see you, my old friend.
Good seeing you. I know we haven't seen each other in forever and a day.
Yes, you too.
And I'm glad you guys came out today, and it's been long enough, and I'm glad we've got a chance to revisit, and we were hanging out, I think, and didn't even know it, at the junior high watching our girls play
Our
volleyball.
daughters play volleyball together.
And last
We didn't
game's
even
coming
know it.
up. Yeah, we got a
Yes.
last game coming up, and we've been sitting in the bleachers all season together.
Yes.
So
So
you need to make sure you're cheering for our daughter because we're actually going to be taking care of the elementary school teachers at the wine bar that night. So this
Fantastic.
Thursday- yeah, or-
that was yesterday,
That was
right?
yesterday,
But every
yeah.
Thursday, though, you do once a month.
Not every Thursday.
Once a
What
month.
it is, what we do is we contract out what I wanted to do personally for the teachers because
Yeah.
my goodness, they take care of our kids, and we're very grateful, especially our youngest. He's a piece of work. Love him to death, but there's certain days
He's a
that
hot
I
mess.
want to
He's
check
a
him out. But no,
Thomas.
and teachers are, especially nowadays with all the media, they're just so underappreciated.
Yeah.
So what I want to do is I want to give back to our schools, back to the teachers, because they do a wonderful job with our kids whenever we just throw our kids
Yeah.
out there. But so I went to every single one of the schools in Montgomery and was like, look, we would like to give you an afternoon, evening at our wine bar. We give them 25% off of every single thing that we
Aw.
do. And just say, hey, come out, have fun. We have a DJ that comes in and does, he calls it jukebox bingo.
Singo bingo.
Singo bingo or
Yes.
jukebox bingo where they get to win like flowers
And
and,
they get-
bottles of wine and all
It's just
kinds
fun.
of
We
stuff.
we really wanted to focus on community.
Yeah.
And different experiences. Give the people a different option for some
That's
some
cool.
kind of entertainment, and so with the dinner that we had, we're going to have a lot more of those.
Oh yeah. 5 or 6 every
just-
single month.
Different
It's
things that
fabulous.
you don't find anywhere else.
It's such a cool place. Such a nice spot. Thank you for coming on the show today. Folks, thank you for watching the Texas Ticket. We'll be back next week on the Texas Ticket. Please join us.
Thank you.
4.5 Lone Star Radio.